Imagine this. It's 9 p.m. No tube light, no fan, no mobile phone glowing in your hand, no refrigerator noise, no TV in the background, just darkness. A darkness so deep you could barely see your own hand. For thousands of years, this was normal human life. People survived without electricity longer than electricity has even existed. But what did humans actually do after sunset? How did they work, cook, communicate, or even sleep? And honestly, could you survive even 1 week like that? Welcome to Sticky Wiki. Today we're going back to a world before electricity. Today, cities never sleep, streetlights shine all night, phones keep us awake until 2 a.m. Even villages glow with LED lights. But before electricity, sunset changed everything. Once the sun disappeared, life slowed down immediately. Ancient humans depended completely on daylight. Most people woke up with sunrise and slept shortly after sunset. Because without light, doing anything became dangerous. You couldn't walk safely outside, you couldn't read books, you couldn't work properly. Darkness was not peaceful back then. It was frightening. People feared wild animals, thieves, spirits, and unknown dangers hiding in the night. In many places, roads became completely empty after dark. Even kings and rich people struggled with nighttime, because darkness treated everyone equally. Humans desperately searched for ways to fight darkness. The first weapon, fire, for early humans. Discovering fire changed everything. Fire gave warmth, protection from animals. And most importantly, light. People sat around campfires telling stories for thousands of years. That's probably where storytelling itself began. Later, humans created oil lamps. They used animal fat, fish oil, olive oil, and eventually kerosene. Imagine the smell inside those homes. Smoke everywhere. Weak yellow light, black soot covering walls and candles. Candles were expensive. Rich families used beeswax candles. Poor people used cheaper animal fat candles that smelled terrible. Even then, one candle could only light a tiny area. Nothing like modern LED bulbs. A single room at night looked dim and shadowy. Movies often make old times look romantic. In reality, it was inconvenient, smoky, and uncomfortable. Now, think about communication. Today, if someone is far away, you send a message instantly. Before electricity, sending information was painfully slow. Letters were the main method. And they took days, sometimes months. Imagine waiting 6 months just to hear whether your relative survived a journey. Entire wars ended before news reached some villages. People also used messengers on horses. Some civilizations even used pigeons. Yes, birds carried important messages. If there was an emergency at night, too bad, no emergency calls, no GPS. No instant help. People were far more isolated than we are today. Your world was usually limited to your village or town. That's why travelers and merchants were treated like walking news channels. They brought stories from distant lands. For many people, that was the only way to know what existed outside their world. Here's something strange. Humans may have slept differently before electricity. Historians found evidence that many people had 2 sleeps. People slept for a few hours after sunset, then woke up around midnight. Stayed awake for some time, prayed, talked, read, visited neighbors, then slept again until sunrise. Because artificial lighting didn't force humans to stay awake unnaturally. Today, our brains are constantly exposed to bright screens, but in the past, darkness naturally controlled human schedules. And since nights were quieter, people noticed things we ignore today. The stars, without city lights, the night sky looked unbelievable. The Milky Way was clearly visible. Ancient humans used stars like maps. Sailors crossed oceans using constellations. Farmers tracked seasons through the sky. The night sky was not entertainment, it was survival knowledge. Electricity secretly powers almost everything around us. Without it, basic tasks become exhausting. No washing machine. People wash clothes by hand for hours. No refrigerator. Food spoiled quickly. People bought fresh food almost daily or preserved it using salt and drying methods. No electric pumps. Water had to be carried manually from wells or rivers. No fans or air conditioners. Summer heat was brutal. Imagine heat without even a ceiling fan. Factories also worked differently. Machines ran using water wheels, steam power, animals, or human muscles. Even rich people relied heavily on servants because daily work required enormous physical effort. And hospitals, surgeries were terrifying. No electric equipment, no modern lighting. Very limited medical technology. A small infection could become deadly. Electricity didn't just make life comfortable, it massively increased human survival. When electricity finally arrived, people were amazed. Imagine seeing a glowing bulb for the first time in your life. No smoke, no fire, just light appearing instantly. Some people literally thought it was magic. Cities started changing rapidly. Streetlights appeared, factories worked at night, people stayed awake longer. Nightlife was born. Electricity transformed humanity faster than almost any invention in history. Within a few generations, humans went from candlelight to smartphones. That's insane when you think about it. Today, if power goes out for even 10 minutes, people panic. No Wi-Fi, no charging, no fan, but humans once lived their entire lives without electricity. And somehow they survived, explored the world, built civilizations, created art, and changed history. Maybe electricity didn't create humanity, but it completely changed what humans could become. So tonight, before you sleep, try switching off every light in your room for 1 minute and imagine living your entire life in that darkness. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Sticky Wiki for more strange science, forgotten history, and unbelievable human stories, because the world is far more interesting than it looks.